Hello, everybody. Just waiting to see who's coming in live and if I am live, making sure I am on here. Welcome. I forgot to move my camera down, so my camera's a little high, but that's okay. That's okay. So I am on YouTube, it says. So we are here and just making sure, just letting some people come in, see who I got. This is being broadcast on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time. So we're on both. I wanted to stop in on this Monday night. It's the August the 15th and have a little conversation, a little chat. Um, if you were amongst those who had purchased the 3 card readings, the 3 card emailed reading, then everyone should have gotten theirs except for one. I have one last one to do. So I said I have 4 spaces available. I opened up a few more. I worked all weekend and I completed all that who had messaged me. It was so crazy how many people messaged me for those 3 card readings. So I am going to offer it out again. I will let you know. I got to finish up a couple. I have appointments this week. So between having to work with my schedule and work with getting the last one finished up, I'll see what else I have. I know there are several people who are on a waiting list to get in for those 3 card email readings. So if you've seen the post about the 3 card reading, the 3 that would be emailed to you in video form, then I will be offering it again. So if you comment um, on that post, you'll get notifications when I comment again on it. So hello. Hi, Wendy and Stacy and Natasha, Adriana, hi, and Ashley, and who else we got? Raina and Tracy, hello, and hello to everyone who's watching and not commenting. Oh, thanks, Wendy. It is not a shirt, it's actually a dress. So I'm in a dress. It is very hot here, by the way. Um, it's crazy hot. Wendy would know we're in the same town. So, hello. Oh, thanks, Kadri. The bronzer. No. Hello. So yes, so I will offer out those 3 card readings again. I will post when I'm ready to take more. I did do triple the amount. It was so crazy. Like I said, I had 4 spaces, and that's all I pretty much had. I was going to do them on Saturday. I had a few hours on Saturday. I ended up working all weekend, got almost all them out. I'm down to the last one. So if you are on that list, there's only one who has not received theirs. So, um, and all the comments I hear back, it just makes my heart smile. I love hearing the messages back from the readings. It just fills my heart. So there is a thread that's going that speaks of it. I will post in that thread, and I'll post a new thread this week and tell you when I'm available to take a few more. Uh, it's not the bronzer. No, it's not the bronzer. It's many things, many things. That was your first thought, Wendy? It was a dress? Yeah, it was. And it was a gift from a friend of mine, actually. A friend of mine gifted me this beautiful dress. And the moment I seen it, I was like in love. And it got pockets. Pockets. I love pockets. Hello, everyone who's joining. Who else came in? Well, Wendy, who I was talking to, Sherry, Patsy, Paula, hello. Kelly, hi. Beth and Amanda. And Terry Ann, hello. Okay. So I want to stop in and do a check in with everyone, update everybody. Um, my my book is still only available. My second book is still only available in downloadable copy. And what we're waiting for is for me to get the copy of my book, and then when Lisa gets back from holidays, we will release the soft cover on Amazon. So it will only be another couple weeks, and you'll be able to buy the soft cover of Beyond the Reflection, My Truth of Existing Beyond the Reflection. The first book you can still purchase, of course, but that's there. Thank you, Jackie. Yes, my hair. I did this morning. I cut it all off myself this morning. Thank God I'm a hairstylist. So Had one of those mornings and decided that's it. It's going. You got a book of mine this summer? Oh, yay, Paula. Was it this book? Was it The More Than Existing? Yeah. So this would be my first book. And so the second book is called My Truth of Existing Beyond Reflection. You can download it. It is downloadable on Amazon. But the actual copy itself is not available yet. Not not to hold the book in your hands. But and the only reason why is because we are waiting for me to hold the book first. Because the other book I never got to hold first. It was up, it was for sale, it was out, and I hadn't yet even held the book. And it was like a month later before I got the book. So yeah. Oh, good. I'm so glad you got it. Okay, my camera's blurry. Sorry. Rubbing my thumb across my own camera. So there is a lot of energy happening. We have a lot of I know for us Aries, we have Chiron sitting right in our sign, but we've also had it planted right in there. We have a lot of energy that's like twisting. Like we have a lot of twist up energy. So we have a lot of twisted energy happening out there. There's a lot. Really? Aw, that's so cool. My mom gave it to you. Interesting. I did give her a bunch of books. I love that she was giving out books. I know one of my cousins also got a book, and she's a writer as well, and she's got a couple books out. And she was telling me she had given her a book as well. Good old Angela. Gotta love her. And so, yeah. And so there is a lot of twisted energy, guys. There's a lot of twisted energy out there. The energy is very like mixed up. It's kind of like all over the place. There's a lot that's happening. Oh, sorry. I got to take my dog down. Give me a moment. As my dress is stuck onto the back of me as I went to get up. Typical me. Okay. It is that hot. And so there is a lot of this twisted kind of energy. We have a lot that's happening. There's a lot of action. There is a lot of shifts. There's a lot of changes. And this is following through until like the end of October. Like it's just like a lot of things that is happening. It doesn't mean stop living. It don't mean like stop making any plans or not living in your dreams. It says, just to be cautious, just to really think about, is this my true feelings? Am I being caught up in the past? Am I picking up am I picking up all that is happening in the world? And just because things are happening in the world doesn't mean it's happening to you personally. And learning the power of not taking the world so personally. It's huge right now. I remember when we started our big magic scissors, not my little one in Buckins, but my big one when I moved to Slave Lake. And when we started that, it was like a recession. And everyone's like, you're crazy, you're nuts, you'll never make it. It's a recession. And I said, there's a recession happening out there, but that doesn't mean that I can't succeed in these times. Everyone still needs their hair done. My service, people still need. I still have clientele. Like there were so many things that I could look at that give me true belief to trust and believe in myself to keep going forward. But the negative Nellies and the doubters and the people that would go to the glass half empty before looking at the glass half full, right? Before all of that, they would go to that place. And if I had to let doubt and let other people's opinions in, I would never had started that business. Like myself and my mother would never had started it. We would never have stepped out. We would never have done it. And we did start small and then we grew it from there. And so that's huge right now, is just in knowing. And so it is just in knowing, just turn my phone off, just in knowing that, you may be hearing a lot of conflicting energy, a lot of chaotic energy stories. You may be hearing a lot about doomsday. You may be hearing a lot about, you better not do this. You better not do this. You better wait. Well, if we spend our life waiting, we may never be able to. What is your intuition telling you? What are you feeling guided to? Like, what is that call that's calling you to action? So it is a lot of energy that says we do have a lot of action energy in winds of storms. It sometimes comes with the best wind to help blow you forward. And so there is that blow forward moving energy. So I am going to come in and do a few cards and just see what I have. I'm going to start out by doing a general. I see what comes. It is so freaking hot. I don't know how long I can stay. I promised I would do a meditation on the full moon, and it was like 35 degrees up here, and I couldn't even sit here. So I'm usually trying to get in and out of this office as fast as I can because it is so hot, so hot. But I did want to come in. Like I said, last week I said I'd come back, and I didn't get back. A lot going. I'm crazy busy. I've been crazy busy with those readings. And so, I don't know if that's the deck I want to start with. I just got an urge to use a deck I have not used in years. And it's the Wisdom of the Avalon, and it's one of Colette Baron Reid's decks, and I haven't used this in years. But I just got a call to use it, so I'm going to use this. Let's see what it gives us. Hello, everyone who's joining in. Hello, please share out these videos as I am on that whole not getting seen. My posts are going nowhere. I've been captured in that Facebook vortex of not being able to be seen anywhere. Fear. See, we're just talking about this. And so the card that comes out first is fear. So when fear leads faith, then the invisible is leading. Yes, we have fear that is, which you've heard me speak of tons of time. You have fear that speaks, and this is the fear card. So you have fear that speaks of, evidence of having previous experiences. And so then we have false evidence appearing real, right? We have the things that are not really real, not really it's not happening right now. Just because we've had previous experiences or things happen in the past doesn't mean that it's happening right now. Oh, thank you, Patsy. I did this morning. I stood in the mirror and cut my own hair off this morning. And so the fear that's coming up with this is, when we see ourselves and our world and our lives and as sacred, and we learn to work in the sacred energy, and we learn to, get back into our sense of our dream state and our dream state of living, is that we can start to inspire ourselves to return to faith and that sense of hope. And if we can have hope, we can start to restore that sense of hope within ourselves. So wherever there is fear, like you're fearing drought, you're fearing everything. It's like before anything happens. For example, if I were to fear a fire happening because I existed, I lived in the community that had a massive fire that caused a lot of damage. Now, when the sun is shining and it's hot, if I woke up every day and go, oh my God, it better rain because this is going to happen and that's going to happen, instead of waking up and looking out and going, oh, there's sunshine. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Because knowing that summer is going to be a very short period of time, and that rain always does find its way in, and that snow is going to be falling anytime, is that I can embrace the sun instead of spending all day repeating that fear story all day long. Because where we repeat that fear story, so where are you repeating fear stories or being caught up in the spiral of a fear story and letting it continue? So once you tell yourself, and then you tell somebody else, and then you tell somebody else, and then you tell somebody else, and you tell somebody else, it's like the spread, right? It's like, oh my God, they said there's not going to be no rain for like 4 weeks. What are we going to do with no rain for 4 weeks? Like, how are we going to get by? This is going to happen and that's going to happen. And then it's that chatter. It's that chatter and that chaos. Now we do that to ourselves without even speaking to anyone else. So that's the collective energy right now that we are saying, be aware of the fear story. What is it we really fear the most? We fear often suffering. We fear suffering, right? We fear that sense of suffering, of lack of. We fear being returned into, depressions, recessions. We fear those things because we know of them. We fear being locked down again because that was traumatic and it has caused such PTSD and it's caused such trauma and it's caused such collateral damage that most know that they would not be able to get through that one of those, or don't think they could get through it again. And so there's just this narratives and these stories that we're just being told, that we're also being fed that by society. And to be aware of this and just, what if that doesn't happen? And that's always my thing is, when I hear these things now, I'm like, but what if it doesn't happen? But what if? What if by miracle? What if by chance there's a chance? And I always say I never lose hope until there's absolutely no hope left. Like when people want to tell me when they want to tell me the doomsday message in like this is happening, that's happening in my life. And my first question back is, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want to see happen? How do you want things to happen? What would you like to see unfold in your life? That's my coaching questions, right? I go into the magic and the miracles and say, what if a miracle were to happen? What if that whole narrative were to never happen? And this was to happen. Then what? Then what? Well, I would be this and I would be that and I would feel this and I would feel that. I'm like, well, why do you have to wait for that to happen? And this neither one of these stories have happened. So why is it so easily to go and fall into the negative and let that impact and control your life when it hasn't happened, when the possibility of something really good may not have always happened either, but neither one of them have happened. So why not? Why not go to the good? Why not restore that sense of hope? Why not restore that sense of faith and just get in that energy and float in that energy and be present in that energy? Why not? And that stumps people. That stumps people. They're like, oh, yeah, I guess why not? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Why can you not be that? Why can you not go to that place? And that's where you are. That's my question to you all tonight. If it's so easy to go into the possibility that all of this could go wrong and all of this could happen, and there might be a lot of chaotic energy, but what if there's an opportunity that through that, it's a possibility of something great or something good can happen or something powerful can happen? What if? So why do we go here instead of here? Because this is programmed. We are programmed and conditioned to fear first, to run first. That has been so instilled and ingrained. It's like embedded into us to go to that instead of go to that hope and faith. It is taught in almost everything. It is conditioned. And so it is breaking up with that habit of going that direction. And that's where spiritual growth comes in. That's where when you travel into spiritual growth and spiritual awakenings and changing the way that you see it and the habits, is that you literally collapse every one of your stories. My books are written on collapsing those stories. I'm seeing the other side of those stories and seeing the possibility of maybe what I thought happened really didn't, because all of that was feeding the monster, right? Feeds the ego, feeds the fear, feeds the negative story, feeds the insecurities, feeds the fear, feeds that sense of what takes over and becomes where we start to try to control our lives. I'm way too lazy to worry about doomsday. Ah, me too, Lindsay. I don't have time for that kind of work. I really don't. It's so much easier to stay in faith and hope. And it's like, and if what can I do? What can you do to live in a more positive way, right? It's like, how can I be that? And that's to do this. Question it. Why is it so hard? So it is about breaking up with the habit of bringing yourself into a reason to suffer, a reason to be angry, a reason to be sad, a reason to be mad, a reason to be upset, a reason to fear. Why is it that so hard to return to the other story? And that's your big message. It's a huge message, but that's the card. That's the first card that came out. So that's the message that you got. And I know it's like, it's not fun. And no, it's not fucking fun because none of this work has been fun. Trust me. I've been dragging my ass for the past 5 years for 20 years, I've been doing this. I've been doing it my whole life. But for the past 20 years, I've been really stepping into it. For the past 5 years, I've been going through some of the most deepest, heart-wrenching, most horrific, but beautiful experiences of my life to set myself free of being caught in that wheel. I don't want to be caught in that wheel. I don't want to live in that wheel. I'm not going there. I want to live over here. And so this is, if neither one is happening, I'm going to go with the one that is charged up, the one that has a higher frequency, a vibrational energy that I can start aligning myself to feeling that sense of hope and faith and holding on to that hope and faith. I'm staying on the faith train. Very well explained. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'm like, I just asked them, give me a way to explain this. And that's what they give me. So that's the card that comes in with it. Now, I'm going to choose a few people for some cards. And you might be getting your ass kicked a little bit here because the channel coming through is a little bit that energy tonight. It's a little bit sassy. Maybe that's why I end up cutting my hair. There's a little bit of sassy. Love this. My what if used to be terrible fear stories, but I love, love, love this. What if things are amazing? What if? Yes, exactly. Right? What if? What if it works out? What if it turns out more beautiful than you could have ever imagined? What if? What if? And that's one of my most, that's one, it's not my, it's like, that is one of our most powerful coaching questions, that it's like, really, truly, we go into that sense of asking. We ask the hard questions because people are stumped on that. People are stumped because that's easy to spiel out your fear story, blah, 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 or the hate stories, right? Or somebody's done me wrong, or the gossip stories, or the hard done by stories, and to stay angry at somebody your whole fucking life because they said one word wrong to you. Sorry, F-bomb, sassy is in here. And so those things are, and I often say this, what you're feeling and all that you're owning is your responsibility. It is not the responsibility of somebody else to fix that for you. It's yours. So it's your responsibility it's not the world's, it's not your government's, it's not anyone else's, it's yours. You can believe the stories, you can get caught up in it, or you can choose to go, what if? What if? I believe there's something big, major happening. If you follow my woo-woo, you follow my real woo-woo stuff, if you follow my messages, my channeled messages, I've been saying forever that I've seen another like tier or like group of, I seen them come in over the mountains, over the hills, and I seen this troops of angels, like angelic realm, hierarchy of angelic realm of divine beings that are coming in, and this divine light is coming in to help us some way, and there's just like major changes that are going to be taking place. And so yes, I need my ass kicked. Well, there you go, Tammy, getting your ass kicked tonight. All right, so I am going to actually start with Adriana tonight. Adriana loves this deck. I just seen a comment that she loves this deck. So I'm going to give you a card from this deck, Adriana. And so this card is going to be for you. We are starting with you. So let's see what the card gives to you. Now they're doing intuitive guidance here. So we are trusting the intuitive guidance that's coming through. I have done something like 6 readings today before I even came in here. So you're welcome, Adriana. I just heard you say. So I got the horse. And I'm like, and so I have this horse spirit. These horses have been everywhere with me today. I have the horse spirit. And the horse spirit really represents the healer. And the horse spirit comes in as a confident, as a sense of like just confidence, a knowing, a trust. And this horse comes in accepting help from another and delegating authority. So being able to ask for help, but being able to delegate out work so that you're not trying to do everything yourself, like being able to trust others, to be able to take the lead in our lives sometimes mean that we step back. The best leaders know how to step back and to let the team do the work. Well, that team may be the angelic realm. That team may be the beings, the divine, that may be the holy realm, the ascendant masters, the wise ones. It could be the goddess energy. It could be in humanity, like it could be here on earth, Adriana. But what it's saying that, the best leaders knows the power to step back when it says this is what I need, and having the power, having the courage to ask for your needs to be met, to set the intention, and to be very clear on what you want, how you want it to happen, and what kind of outcome that you want to see, what kind of outcome you want to feel. And when you do that, then have the courage to step back, that let go of control of trying to make it all happen yourself, and asking for the team to then come in and just say, I surrender it now. Now I just trust. I hold my head up high, I step back, I wash my hands, I put my hands up to surrender, I let go, and I'm just letting go, and I'm just trusting the universe. I'm trusting things to work out. I'm just trusting that all will work, that's for the highest good. And so they're telling you that somewhere you are stepping back into trying. You know that word trying? I'm trying. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying. I'm trying to get things done, or the sense of like needing to be in control, like nobody can do it right for me. Nobody can get it right. But maybe your sense of right is not the way that things are not supposed to be done. Maybe it's supposed to be done a little bit differently, and you're being told to just like let go and just trust and step back, put your hands up. I asked, I let it go. What I do, and this is for everyone, what I do, if you've ever been in my house, you see journals everywhere. And I have journals everywhere. My shelves are full, like 5 years of just straight journaling plus the books that I write. But I keep a journal by my bed, right by my bed. And every night before I go to bed, I write a note to God, to the angels, to my guides. I write them notes, and I put my asking in there. And I ask them, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. And then I write it out and I say, thank you, so with such gratitude and such love for all of the guidance, all the assistance, for all that's been here for me. And then I close the book and I leave it. And when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I always say, and this has been a practice I've done for years, is I say thank you every morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then as I'm getting out of bed, what I now notice is soon as my eyes open and I start getting out of bed, I will hear a word or I'll hear a message. And something will come to me. And sometimes it's the simplest word. Um, like the other morning, I think my word was, what was it? Um, it was you. It was actually a statement. You forgot you. Nobody else forgot you. You forgot you. You have forgotten about you. And I would hear it as it was like the guides were following me down the steps, and they were repeating it as I was going down the steps. And I'm like, oh, so then I let the dogs out, got them in, fed them, sat down with the journal that was downstairs, and I picked it up and I start to write. And the moment I start to write, it was like instantly the message just start pouring out on what that meant and what that meant to me. And that's, I do that every day. That's my practice. And then I go into probably like a 19-minute meditation every single day. I don't miss. And yes, I do get up really early, but the journal by the side of the bed, it will really help. So I hope that helps, Adriana. And I hope that helps anyone else. If these messages feel like they're resonating with you, then they're for you as well. Okay. Let me see. Do I have Colleen Gladue. Are you still here, Colleen Gladue? You're welcome, Liz. Colleen Gladue. Beth. Colleen. I'm just trying to see if Colleen is still here. Um, so I'm going to go Colleen. Yes. Okay. So Colleen, this card is going to be for you. I just heard grab onto Colleen. Grab Colleen. that was loud. And if anyone knows why I'm just like melting while everything's like falling off me here, like it's like sweat, everything is pouring down my back. It's because it's so freaking hot here. I don't choose them, Beth. I hear who to choose. Colleen. The cards got stuck, Colleen. It's like they just didn't even want to come out. Partnership. So you got partnership. And so I just got partnership with the divine, or partnership with the ancestors, like partnership with something outside of us, right? Like, so partnership with having the faith and trusting. So this is what's coming up for you is partnership. And this partnership card is bringing in a sense of, I got to look close because I really want to see what else is happening in this card. So there's always little markers in these cards. And so these little markers kind of are like the ruins, right? So it's like there's a marking on each stone. And if we don't look close enough, we can't see the markings. We can't see the signs. So I feel like you're missing the signs and the mark that says, you know what? You got this. You're doing well. And so you're kind of looking for validation outside of yourself, or you're looking for validation in the human world that you're doing good, that you're on the right path. And it's like if someone doubts you, or someone says, oh, are you sure about that? You're quick to run with that and go, oh my God, maybe I'm not. And they're like, don't miss the mark, stay on the path. And that this, there's an opening where this water's coming through. But why is the water coming through, or is it still? How can the water be over there and not coming through there if there's an opening and the water looks high enough? Well, it's the illusion. It's the illusion of the water being high. But when you look at the shore, it's like the water is like this. So it's like when you are in partnership with insecurities and fears, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's going to come through. And you're going to be trying to fill up this space, which is wasted energy. And they're telling you, don't waste energy. Don't waste time on even explaining yourself. Don't waste time on having to get someone to understand you. Don't waste time on explaining yourself. It's like, just stay knowing that all of this space, this path has opened up for you, and that you have to travel your path and your journey. Wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, don't look back. Don't let the fears of other people get in the way. Don't let the fears of your past get in the way. That, yes, I have been. And so you have to keep moving forward and keep going forward, because there is something that's just saying, you know what, this is your path. This is your right path. And this is for you to be on this journey right now. And wherever that journey is, whatever that journey may be, that to stay on it. Don't leave there. That's what we're getting. So trust, stay in faith, and do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. And don't miss the mark, right? You're on the path to your destiny. And if you listen to somebody else, Colleen, I was looking at the weather as Wendy was saying there's rain. I'm like, I don't want rain. Nighttime rain, okay. But I got stuff outside I'm painting. And so, yeah, okay, yes, there is some fear of uncertainty, but I know I can do this. Yes, you can, Colleen. Yes, you can. You can do this. You can make this happen. And I feel like that's the mark. That's your destiny. That's your path. That it's opened up for a reason. And all of the little signs, all of the how smoothly things are working out, whatever it may be, is all falling into place because it is your destiny. Don't let any fear get in the way. You cut your hair off too, Lindsay? Right? I just heard, just let it go. Um, and so yeah. So I hope that helps you, Colleen. And then, and then, trying to see who I still have here. Do I still have Kadri? Kadri, are you still here? You are so very welcome, Colleen. Just trying to see if Kadri is still here. I was a host on spiritual TV a couple weeks ago. So I was a host. I was a guest on the show on spiritual psychic TV a few weeks ago, and it was. I had my own broadcaster. So inside of our little behind the scene thing, I had a broadcaster, and it was so cool to have somebody that was like monitoring everything and just speaking into our ears, like we could hear them talking to us, and yeah, it was great. Okay, I don't see Kadri. If you're here, Kadri, you come back in. I am going with Patsy Wells. Is Patsy Wells still here? Yeah, no, I don't explain myself, right? It's like that's I just don't need to say anything. Why we always have to feel like we have to explain ourselves, because that's the complexity. That's program. That's conditioning. We are so conditioned to having to feel the need to explain and all you're doing is you're exerting energy that could be going into something really useful. That's it. And so don't even waste your time, right? It's like, no, I don't have to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know if when you know you stop justifying, you stop trying to explain yourself to others. Patsy, yes, you are. Okay. Patsy Wells. Let's see what they have for you. Patsy, for some reason, I just seen a cup. I just seen like a cup, like I don't know if it's like a beer stein or a teacup, but it had a handle on it. And it's almost like somebody is cheering you, like, cheers. It's like, that's what I just got. I'm like, cheers. So, movement is your card, flow, letting things flow through, letting things flow by. The water is very still looking, but it's always trickling, right? There's always that flow, that movement, and the pattern is flow in the rock. So the water is still, and then the rock has the flow, the pattern in the rock, right? Every one of these cards has a hidden message. There is hidden messages everywhere in our lives. And so when things feel stagnant, or when you feel like you're being held back, or when you feel like you got that anxiety in your chest, or you feel like, oh my God, why am I panicked today, or why do I feel this way, that is something that needs to move, right? It's the movement, the flow. And sometimes you don't need to know what it is. You don't even need to have to figure everything out. What you're being told is to move your body, like shift, move. Sometimes you got to get yourself out of the freaking room. So if there's a lot of negative energy or a lot of negative conversation happening in a room, and you're like I can't even breathe, and then you find yourself like trickling into the conversation, and even though you may have not even wanted to have a negative thought or a negative an opinion, it's like it just happens because you're there, and it's like you just got to move yourself. And even if you can't leave the room, you can remove yourself from that situation. Step back, take a breath, turn your body, turn away from it, do something else. Breathe in, breathe out, come back in again. Move, move, move. And that movement is able to move and shift that energy. The other thing of what they're bringing attention to me is the reflection. And the reflection, we see reflections everywhere. We scry in water. We go to lakes and oceans and anything that's, well, more rivers and lakes or ponds. that are very calm, or even you can do it in an ocean too, but very calm. And in the reflection, if you look long enough in the reflection, you start to see something new. So you're also being told that if you stay long enough looking in the mirror deeper at yourself than at the image of you, you're going to see something of yourself. I actually write that in the second book. I write, is when you can look into the mirror, when you can look into the mirror at yourself and you see your reflection so deep that a tear falls from your eye and you start to feel for you. You start to have compassion for you. You start to like literally feel for you. It's like you're unnumbing. It's like you're finally able to like sit back and say, "Oh, I see you. I see you in there. I've seen all that you've done. I've seen all that you've been through. I've seen all that you've been strong through. I now see you. And you have done a lot. You have been through a lot. And now I'm going to nurture that. Now I'm going to love that. Now I'm going to care for that." That's the essence of learning to have that level of compassion for you. And until you can see yourself without judgment and without criticism, you'll always have a stagnant energy because you'll always be trying to fix something about yourself. You'll always be trying to improve something about yourself because you'll be the narrative of picking yourself apart. It's like that constantly putting ourselves on diet. If you're telling yourself that you've got to restrict yourself, you're telling yourself you're not good enough. If you change the language and change the words, right, that's the kind of communication they're talking about. Is what do you see when you look in the mirror? Do you see the woman that you're going to high five? If that was somebody else, what kind of compassion would you have for them? So that a lot of the movement that's coming for you is going to be in movement of stagnant energy, old thought process, old ways that you communicate to yourself, or the way that you would just find yourself like getting too involved in something that you don't need to get involved in, not getting caught up in drama, and just seeing yourself like being able to shift and move. It's like, you know what? I've been there and I've succeeded and I've made it through a lot of shit in this life. High five. High five. Because what you're doing is you're going to be getting yourself into a more of a flow state, a state where it's like a change, a shift that is happening for you, Patsy, that's happening within you. And I just keep feeling it, like it's like coming from my back, like I feel it in my spine. So it's almost like not almost, I feel like this is an energy healing, like I am pushing and moving that energy. I'm pushing you into the mirror, like look at you. Can you not see you? Can you not see the woman that you are and what you have done? And this is like, see her, see her. And so, yeah. So when my second book when you can download it right now, but if you want to hold it, read it because it will freaking resonate. And yeah, and that's where you are, is when a tear can fall and you can feel for yourself and say, yeah, I fucking deserve this life. I deserve, I deserve, like we all deserve a good life. And I deserve to make myself a chosen person in my life, to put myself forward and in front and to see and to do and to see how successful I have been, to see what I have done very well, and to really look with such compassion and kindness that I'm not going to talk to myself in any other way other than encouraging and inspiring myself. That's your message. I hope it helps you in some way. Yeah. Hello, Catherine. And hello, everyone else who is joining in. I seen Joanne came in up there earlier. And Shelly, hi. And so I hope that helps some way, Patsy. You're going to catch yourself now. Every time you go to have that negative thought or that negative word to say, oh God, if I just did this or I just did that, you're going to find out. So somebody's cheering you. You're getting somebody cheering you. All right. So I am going to do, I'm going to do one last collective card because I'm literally like freaking melting in my chair here. So I am going to do one last collective card, and like I said, these messages can resonate with everybody because they are inspiration, they're intuitive guidance. So if the message resonates with you, then of course it's there to help you as well. So one last card. for tonight. And hopefully, I'm hoping and praying that I'll be able to at least show you my book tomorrow. Today, I woke up this morning at 4:30 to a message from my dear friend Lisa, who's in France, with a picture of Mother Mary. She was at one of the, and she knows my relationship to Mother Mary, and so it was so amazing because as I went to sleep last night, I just knew like today is 15 years since my nan. And you often hear me talk to my nan in here, my nan Thorne, because she was a twin, Pansy and Daisy. And it was 15 years since she passed today. And I woke up this morning, I was so fucking grumpy. And like, even though I was in my messages, because I let those emotions go through, you got to be allowed to feel life. You cannot deny yourself to feel life. It's just not letting yourself get trapped in it. That's the difference. So I could feel that energy. And then I went outside and there was 4 little blue jays sitting outside. And I'm like, oh, look at that. And there was the energy shift. There was the change. And I just knew that, they are in such a place where they just inspire us each and every day to be the best of who we are. Protection. And so our card for collective energy is protection. And, we often say, well, I don't need to protect myself. I don't need to do this. And it's like, so sometimes we can be overprotective and we can have our hearts so guarded. And we're asking ourselves, like, why does nothing good come in? Why is there always good for everyone else and there's not for me? And that is you can be a hard nut to crack sometimes. So when you have formed that shell and you are pushing out and pushing away all that is there for you or all that's offered, it's like someone offers you something, you go, no, thank you. No, thank you. I don't trust them people. I don't take from them people. No, no. And it's like that shutdown energy. So I'm speaking of like, if the guides and the angels, if the universe is trying to bring into you and you're constantly on the no, thank you, but I want this, it's like you got to be open to receiving. I accept, I claim, I am open, I am available. I write, I am available. I am available to all things good and beautiful. I am accepting, I am only accepting all that is of the highest good. I'm done accepting garbage. I'm done being a doormat. I'm done being a punching bag. I am done. I'm only accepting all that is of love and light. And being very clear about that. And so the other protection that's coming in is just saying, the protection to surround and your home, your place. And people say, well, why do we need to do that? And not to say that there's all this stuff out there that's coming at you, but it also allows you to sit in the light or sleep in the light all night long. So if you ask the angels and the guides to be in all 4 corners of your house, to be on all 4 corners of the property in which you live, to build a pyramid top and bottom, to be around you front back, is that there is a constant flow of energetic love and light that is flowing into you, and it then protects you even from your own self and from you being your own enemy, because there's no greater enemy than ourselves when we are negative to ourselves or when we are doubting ourselves or we're living in fear stories, when we have the insecurities and fears. And so that then becomes like this energy that is getting in, and we allow it to come in. It's not a fear state. You don't call them in a fear state. You call them in and you place them there every single night just to be there to transmit in this beautiful energy so that you can be and just say, I am open to the love, the light that the universe has to give me. I am not accepting all the other stuff. I'm not available. I'm sorry. I'm not available to the fear, the negativity, but I am available to magic and miracles. I'm available to love. I'm available to light. I claim that I am worthy. I claim that I am deserving. I claim, I own, I'm stepping into that energy. And it takes practice. You can't do it once and expect your life to change. This is practices. These are like rituals. These are a part of my life. I do this every night. I sleep like this. I wake up like that. I live my life like this. This is the way. That's actually my 4th book is called The Way, which comes after Wine and Chips, but Wine and chips is in editing as well. And so it is the way that I choose to live my life, because what I say is that not allowing the vices, so like the unhealthy habits, to any longer contaminate the virtues. If I have a virtue of courage, I have to find out what courage is. If I have to make choices, I have to use discernment in those choices, because every choice has a consequence to that choice. And what do I want to accept from that? And that's really truly bringing that into your focus, bringing that into your energy, so that you also are protected from your own bullshit, from your own energy, from your own stories, from your own fear. And so that it starts to kind of reprogram that subconscious mind, those subconscious stories that are so programmed in there. And people sometimes have no idea how much we play the self-saboteur, the victim. But why can't we play the mystic, the lover? Why can't we play those beautiful queen stories? Why can't we be those things? So that's where it's right. What if, what if I'm not always in that rebel energy? What if I'm not always in that sense of having to be so defensive? Because if you're defensive to the whole world, you're defensive to all that is of love and light as well. If you are shut down, if you're closing down, if you don't trust, if you don't trust anyone, you don't trust anything, then you don't trust the divine either. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust this inner light, this inner self that is trying to help guide you. You don't trust your own self. You don't trust your soul. And so coming into a deeper relationship with ourselves is so important. And I feed our wild blue jays unsalted shelled peanuts. They call me, it takes a long time in the morning. Yes, me too, Raina. So Corey, who's my partner, bought me a massive bag of peanuts a few weeks ago, like a big bag of peanuts. And I go out every single morning and every single night, and I feed the blue jays, and I feed the crows, and I feed the magpies. I'm sorry to my neighbors, but I cannot leave them all out. But I put them on different sides of the yard. And I've got 4 new babies that are hiding in the tree. They must be kicked out the nest. And so they're learning to eat their peanuts. And they're so used to me now. They just wait for me to give them the peanuts and they come down. So yeah, I go out and I put out peanuts out all over the place. And then I do it again in the evening. I have to go out and fill up the bird feeders every single morning. Oh, really, Catherine? The lights in my house just flashed after your last words. Yeah, it's the divine that's with us. It's the divine. I'm telling you, there is such a powerful energy that inspired me to come in here tonight to speak of the what if, to really get people to really start to think in a new way, to look in that new way. And I do battle this almost every day. I'm not going to lie. I've been battling this back and forth with myself, with my world, about social media, with all that has transpired and happened over the past few years in here, and that sense of feeling the pressure to be present, to be here. I've had to work on a lot of my story in the past couple of years of trying to do enough, to be enough. Like, am I giving enough? And so I would literally have anxiety around making sure that I did enough videos, that I did enough work. And then one day, one of my dear friends sat me down and pointed out how many recordings I have out there, how many books I've written in 3 years, how many I've got 2 decks of cards that are in creation. And everything can't come out because it all takes a lot of money, just saying. And it takes a lot of time, and editing takes the longest. Poor Lisa. And all the things that I've succeeded at. And I had to really tell myself, I don't need to be everywhere every day. And I don't owe anybody anything. And that was huge. Remember that. We owe nobody nothing. And so I don't owe anybody to make sure that I have an Instagram video out. I don't I if I'm denying myself to be at peace and an inner peace by, oh my God, I got to get this out. I got to record 10 videos. I got to get, this many memes done, that done, this done. And it's turned back into a job, just like the other job that almost destroyed my health. I love my other job. but it's like that was my mind. And so really truly stepping back and saying, do I have the energy today? Is that where my energy, where my focus goes today? Or do my body need it? Because there's a lot of deep healing that's happening in my body, in my spine. I found out my surgery, my emergency list surgery in Canada right now is 18 months. 18 months. So there is a lot of things where other focus goes. And so when you learn to be enough for you, you stop trying and you start allowing, just like the card for Adriana, right? It's like, I just put my hands up and I just said, I'm done. Wherever my energy feels like flowing that day, I ask every morning where I should be and where I need to be. And that's what I do. And I suggest you do it in your lives too. Wherever you feel the call to, don't feel pressured to have to be anywhere. Because before you ever had social media, did you ever have a need to be a TV star? Did you ever have a need to be a celebrity? Did you feel a need to go find a camera and get in front of a camera all day long? Like, or to be talking to, that you had to communicate with people all over the world? Or did you communicate with the people in your circle? Right? Like, and not that I love social media. I love it. But I love it. I loved it, and I loved it so much that I wanted to put my all into it. But you also have to remember, when you stop loving what you're doing, there is something inside of you that needs to be looked at and explored. And remember that. Remember that is that don't let it distract you from you. Because the one thing you're here to do in this life, the one thing you're here to do is to be your best version of you, for you, your best version of you for you first. And when you're the best version of you for you first, then when you show up as your best, right? You show up. When I show up, I'm freaking happy to be here. I'm over the moon to be here. Any video that I give you, I'm so excited. Any card of the day, I'm like inspired. It makes my heart sing to give it, because I don't put pressure on myself to be anywhere. I'm working on other things. Right? Start by making time for you. We teach that. That is in More Than Existing, that you are all okay. We're tweaking, we're working, we're growing, we're evolving, we're doing all those things. Right? A couple times a week, and he makes his own humming food. Yeah, I do my own hummingbird food as well. Yep, got 2 of those I got to fill up. I just joined late. However, I just mentioned that I stuck my neck out with a friend tonight to let her know of someone to be very careful with. Showed her newspaper article. She stared at me, no emotion. This is someone she works side by side with, and this person lived in my property. I walked her out to her car and no comments. I got back in my house and thought, why did I just share this and risk my own well-being? I don't need to be this rebel. Yes, exactly, Catherine. You don't need to be that rebel. Sometimes people have to learn everybody meets a different person. When no matter who meets you, they meet a different person. So, they have to meet the person, they have to get to know the person, and they have to have their own experiences. So that's what we have. That's right. So just pull your neck back in now. Pull it back in. All right. So thank you all. Sorry, Zippity, I'm just done. So thank you all for being here tonight. It was an honor as always. I love you guys so much, and I love all the support. I will post again later this week of when I have time. Sid is having her moment. When I have time to take another list of people for the 3-card video readings. I only have one more left to go out, but I have some clients this week. So you can also catch me at the end of the week, Friday. I am on News for the Soul Radio at 12 p.m. It will be a Q&A, so I will be answering questions and doing readings on my radio show this Friday. So it's 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'll have another YouTube video in the next day or so as well for this week's energy, for what's happening, another channeled message. There's a new podcast on She Is More Than Existing. I have a new podcast in there with myself and Lisa. It went out last week. What else? And my diamond effects. I have a new program coming out. So I have a new healing class that's being taught. It starts the end of August. If you want in on that, you can. Summer extravaganza. All of the courses in summer extravaganza, and the list keeps growing. There's always more in there. So I think it's almost done now, but that ends the end of summer. the summer extravaganza to purchase them ends the end of summer. So then you have like a couple months to be able to watch them, to listen to them for your discounted price. So it's 60% off a whole bunch of my courses and classes and meditations in More Than Existing Academy. So it's mteacademy.ca, and they're 60% off, and it's only until the end of summer. So if you want to get into those classes, then yeah, August 30th. It ends August the 30th, not the end of summer, because summer runs into September. But it's like, and so August the 30th, summer extravaganza ends. So if you want any of those classes and courses for 60% off, there's a couple in there that are absolutely incredible. I'm just saying. Yeah, go in and take advantage of those. I got a new course coming up and so much more that will be happening. Lisa's got human design starting up as well. So just go in, check it out. Check out the work, or go to our other page, which is the More Than Existing Academy of Higher Consciousness. It's another page, and you can go there and check it out. If you go into my shop on this page, you can see all those courses as well. I love you all. Thank you so much. Now I'm just going to go melt away in this heat. Love you. Mwah. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.